Hello there, thrill seekers. I am going to read you something that I read a couple of nights ago and see if I can talk about it. It comes from this book, Consciousness and the Absolute, The Final Talks of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, edited by Jean Dunn. So Jean Dunn is the actual writer of the book, even though the words are the words of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. And here is what Jean Dunn records Nisargadatta Maharaj as saying on June 22nd, 1981, in the morning talk. I guess this day he gave a talk in the morning and a talk in the afternoon. He was very ill at this point in his life, Nisargadatta Maharaj was, and he would die a few months later, I think. After this talk. So this is near the end of his life. And here's what he says. This consciousness and I am-ness, this is kind of a phrase he uses a lot, the sense of being, I am, are due to what? What is the basic material necessary for that to sprout? It is the 5 elements, the 3 gunas, and Prakriti Purusha. Now, it doesn't matter that much what these are, but I'll tell you. I'm not sure which elements are the 5 that we're talking about, but I take that to mean the material elements. And the 3 gunas, guna is attribute or quality born of natures. The 3 gunas are sattva, rajas, and tamas. And sattva is light, purity, being, existence. Rajas is passion, restlessness, one of the 3 aspects of cosmic energy, or the gunas. Okay, we knew that. And tamas is ignorance, darkness. Okay, so that's what the gunas are. And Prakriti Purusha, let's see how they give it in the glossary. Prakriti is original, uncaused cause of phenomenal existence. You can believe in that if you want. We can talk about that later. And Purusha is the self which abides in the heart of all things. It doesn't matter that much what these are, because that's kind of not the point of what Nisargadatta Maharaj is saying. He's saying that it's caused by these things, and whatever things you want to believe causes it, it is caused. That's the point. It is caused. All those result in this space I am. What do you have except memory? The memory is the result of the 5 elements in the 3 gunas, the 8 aspects. So when that basic material is available, only then is memory there, memory of anything. And finally, most important, the memory that you are. Presently, the feeling that you are is also a memory. To sustain that memory of I am, all these raw materials are necessary. You are not that I am. You are as the Absolute prior to this I am. This I am-ness is the product of these raw materials, but you, as Absolute, are not that. At the most, you might say I am, but what is this I am? I is merely a word. In the first instance, there are words, and then there is merely a memory. Memory you are not. It sounds like Yoda. Memory you are not. Who has been able to retain his memory as I am? Once all that raw material has gone, where is that memory I am? Your most essential step is to stand firmly on your identity as the dynamic manifest consciousness principle. You stabilize only there. This is your first step. There is nothing else but the knowledge that you are. Just be that. Nothing more, nothing less. One cannot see rays of light. As such, they reflect only when they encounter another object. This is the part I'm really digging in this. So one cannot see rays of light as such. So you can't see the rays of light. They reflect only when they encounter another object. So you only see light when it encounters something. Similarly, I am-ness is the interruption because of these 5 elements and 3 gunas. So whether you believe in the 5 elements or 3 gunas doesn't matter that much. It's the interruption part that we want to talk about or want to look at. This is why the feeling I am is felt. But without the feeling of I am, still you are. Light itself emanates from the sun. Everything is stored. The 5 elements are there, therefore it is reflecting as the sun. Brightness is seen as the sun because something is there. If something were not there, the rays of light would be spread all over and become invisible as a source of light. Mahakash is the infinite space, and Mahakash is defined here as great space. The infinite space is dark. It is as dark as when you close your eyes. In that physical space, all the universe arises and sets and is destroyed. Finally, what is the result of all the experiences that are going on in the play of consciousness? They are just gone, ending up in pure space. The whole world is in an ever-changing state. No form will remain permanently. Finally, all the forms will vanish in space and become formless. I am talking directly from my own experience, not from any books. Millions of people, animals, and other beings have come and gone, but the sum total of the universe, has it become more or less? It remains unchanged. They have never become less. They are always there. With all these millions of forms in the world, can my image be left permanently? Presently, you have only the feeling of I am-ness, and because of that feeling, the whole world is manifested. Once the millions of people have gone, what traces are left of them? Let us forget spirituality for the time being. Among all of my experiences, I had occasions for joy, happiness, and miseries. What part of the miseries or happiness still remains? One who has transcended the consciousness, or one who has seen the end of this, for such a one, where is there the question of any gain or loss? I know full well that this knowingness will not remain. I abide in that no-knowing state. So this being the case, where is the question of one's engaging in activity? With such a spiritual orientation, can one be affected by worldly or family life? And that's how it ends. He didn't seem to be giving very long talks towards the end of his life. Apparently it was difficult for him to talk at all. And he just said what he felt was most important to him. And I find his way of expression really fascinating. It's different from the way we express things in Zen. There are different terminologies, there are different sort of divisions into what life is, and we don't talk about gunas or prakriti and purusha in Zen. But the point remains. He talks about this I amness being a kind of interruption in the flow. I've often felt that this was kind of the case. Ziggy, can you... Anyway, Ziggy's an interruption in the flow. That what we are is like little whirlpools that appear in a stream. So there's an interruption there, a pebble or something, and the water has to flow around it, and that creates a whirlpool. And because of that interruption, the whirlpool is there, and the whirlpool can be said to exist. And you could even say it has a birth and a death. You could talk about all the events that happened in its life, and we could give it a name. We could do all sorts of things, but it's an interruption in the flow of things, and that's kind of what we are. Is an interruption in the overall flow of reality. We're not something that stands apart from reality and observes it. We have the sense that we are. We believe that we are something that stands apart from reality and observes it. But that's an illusion. We are part of reality that has this delusion of being a permanent entity, but that's not the case. Anyway, I thought that was really lovely, and I just thought I'd bring it up to you today for sort of story time reading. So that's the book, Consciousness in the Absolute, The Final Talks of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, edited by Jean Dunn. And there's Jean Dunn herself on the back cover. Interesting stuff. that's it. That's all I got today. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to donate to me being able to read more books and talk to you about them on the internet, you can go to the URL you are seeing on the screen below, which is hardcorezen.info/donate. That is hardcorezen.info/donate. There you will find links to my PayPal and Patreon accounts. Those are my main means of support, and I really appreciate your support. But as always, this is offered for free, so you don't gotta pay if you don't want to pay. We will see you next time. Have a good time all the time. Bye. Hey Ziggy, you got a sock? You got a sock? You gonna let me have the sock? Gonna let me have the sock? You let me have the sock? Oh, no, you're not gonna let me have the sock. Alright, I'll let you have the sock. See you later, Ziggy.